and immediately began having more of his incredibly fucked up hallucinations.
Indeed. So yeah, guys, welcome back to Deadly Premonition. Welcome back to Paula Cthulhu. We were just recapping what you've just seen. If you're watching this on the playlist, Paul, I think it's fair to say you have been terribly intrigued by this game so far.
I have been. Some of the games in this series, they've been a slow boil.
Yes.
It's like some of them could be like a boil that is less of a slow boil and more like just waiting for the water to spontaneously combust. This, however, was intriguing. Then
yes.
The car crash. Then shit got really fucking weird.
And
then quasi-normal again. And then weird. And then we had the reveal that this guy's been not quite playing dumb, but letting other people come to their own conclusions about him.
Yes.
He's been arranging the conclusions people have been coming around with him. Because this guy might be that kind of smart. And then he just like blew up their fucking minds. And then he steps out of the room and his own mind is leaking out his ears, apparently.
Yes. So like he basically goes for like an FBI equivalent of a mic drop and then ends up going like, oh shit, mental breakdown. I knew I forgot something. Yes. Take the pills, Tiger. And suddenly now the hospital's under attack from red ivy, apparently. So that's where we stopped, and this is where we start off for this week, lads. So Paul, are you ready for more Deadly Premonitions?
I am, and I am interested to see are there consequences to using this firearm, because before it was out in the woods in the rain, shooting at shadows. It's the middle of nowhere, firing a gun in the dark in the woods, in as far as you can tell, an abandoned place. Not safe, but
relatively.
We're pulling out people.
Yeah.
We are currently in a hospital, and we have an armed man having incredibly vivid hallucinations. This can only end horrifically.
Well, let's find out, lads. So, Paul, if
let's
you are
find
ready.
out together.
Indeed. So, on 3, 2, 1, play. And of course, make sure to kill the audio on your side. It's probably quite loud. So as you can see, the red ivy is immune to attacks.
I mean, do we have a knife?
Oh, it doesn't. It does at all. That's just like you can't go here.
Oh. That is some concerning moan in the background.
It is, and you're gonna have to get used to that, I'm afraid. It's part of the ambiance for this level.
I'm going to just assume in one of the locked doors, the tentacles are having interrelations with someone who's evidently enjoying it.
That is your call, Paul. I couldn't possibly comment. So as you can see, the knife also does nothing.
No.
So we are essentially obliged to go through this door and begin the mandatory action scene.
Is this the room we were just in?
Yes. Oh, hello.
Okay. You see, I thought I was joking about someone getting pleasured by tentacles. Shit.
You also noticed that was the woman that died. That was the one on the tree, wearing her red dress.
I think you come to understand that I did not peek. I did not tweet that because she was quite dead. But then again, we were in the autopsy room where she was supposed to be lying dead, and she's not there.
After all, they look, and as we all know, when you're in the autopsy room, you look even more dead than normal. So that's why Paul didn't pick her out initially.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of the times they've opened you up when they're like examining your organs, which are typically inside you. So
typically,
I defend that. Yes.
Actually, it's not her. It's a different woman. Looks like her though.
It's some woman, and the sounds like someone is like enjoying themselves nearby.
Quite. Oh, hello, zombie, right behind you.
I mean, it wasn't quite a Silent Hill nurse, but it's not a Silent Hill nurse.
It's like similar but legally extinct to a Silent Hill nurse. Like the inspiration for it isn't necessarily a sexual fetish, but it's in the same ballpark. You know, it's like if you have confusing thoughts about nurses.
Yeah, but okay. So far we've discharged what? A dozen rounds
Yes.
in a hospital, and you know, bullets, modern bullets. They have penetrating power, and hospital walls are, especially like just in fact the walls that are internal to a building.
Yes.
Not
They're quite
typically
crucial, in
the toughest.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've been firing a gun at a hospital. Generally aiming roughly shoulders or torso height.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if no one's been injured.
Yeah, like I think it goes without saying at this stage, like this is obviously kind of happening in his mind. Like he's obviously got this kind of extra kind of ESP like ability to see, like in a weird way, like almost like the Upside Down from Stranger Things, or like the Silent Hill gimmick, as it were. As you were just like, he's able to see the evil in the area, and this is how it's manifesting, you know. So in a way, this isn't actually happening. He's just having a weird episode, but also you could make the argument that it is actually happening, and he's just really aware of it. If you know, if the malevolence is in the air, if you like, this is how it's shown.
I guess it all depends that when we pass this, do we want? Does a lot of people want to have questions with us about all the shots fired?
Well, clearly, like, I mean, there's no bullet holes in the walls, so there's clearly like it's not actually happening, as it were. Or at least you can make the argument.
Honestly, that could just be like not amazing, game development. It's a tough call to say. Like, is it just the limitations of the game?
Or it's creative choice, yeah, I get you.
Yeah. Because I'm sure there's some games that have done some very creative things with that.
Well, yeah, bear in mind, this is like, what, 2010, 2013? So, yeah, I think it's given the benefit of the doubt in this case. But I mean, obviously goes without saying, like this aspect of this that couldn't possibly be happening in real life, you know.
Yeah.
Now you may be curious as to why you seemingly have to shoot through all these people. You don't necessarily have to. If you remember the flashback scene we got at the start of this chapter, where the little kid kind of shows you that you can, if you hold your breath, the zombies don't respond.
Oh,
so,
yes.
Yes, so that is a thing. If you do not if you basically aren't arsed shooting your way through, you can basically hold your breath and basically sneak past them. Now what's going on here?
Nothing good, I'll wager.
Well, no under that blanket. Whoosh. Dramatic. Ooh, it's a card.
Yeah, this is where I get concerned. Like, you're like, if you can use that in the real world, you picked up a physical object that interacts with the world.
Well, that's kind of where you have to consider, like, what is real and what isn't. Like, clearly, like, to me, the zombies aren't real, right? He's imagining them and he's imagining shooting them, but the actual perception, he is like perceiving items and objects, and he's probably using them to move around the place, you know. So it is a case of, like, it's almost like it's like I suppose an augmented reality in a way, or an alternate reality, if you like. That's the way I see it as.
Yeah. It's... I hope it gets answered by the end of this.
Let's hope so, Paul. Again, I'm only playing as much as you're seeing here, so I'm also intrigued as to where this is going.
And with any luck, if it's a ridiculous cop-out where nothing gets answered,
then we will.
Then I hope it maintains its Oh, what's the word? I'm looking for a particular kind of word where, like, it has been relatively engaging so far. It's been confusing and a bit nonsensical, and boys a little completely fucking weird.
Very Japanese as well. Is also the point I'd say there. It's a very Japanese idea.
You'll have to explain what that means in this context.
Well, I mean, like, it's goofy. It's goofy in certain ways, and it does, like, much like games like probably not Silent Hill is the best example, but you know, like how Resident Evil has this kind of like base level of cheese, you know, and it's like that's how it kind of gets it kind of breaks attention sometimes with like a goofy line or a little scene that's just slightly funny. You know, like how little Napoleon just pops up out of nowhere, and you have a little chuckle at the fact that he's a midget, and then suddenly, oh shit, monsters again! Fuck yeah, I forgot about that. You know, that sort of deal. Metal Gear, for example, famous for just having a character who's known for shitting himself uncontrollably for no reason, just there for the crack, you know. That sort of stuff is what they do.
I'm sorry, what?
Are you not aware of? Oh well, boy, have you missed a lot from the Metal Gear playthroughs.
Metal Gear just isn't my cup of tea.
But now that you know that there is a soldier with diarrhea, has that intrigued you somewhat? Do you feel sympathy for this soldier?
Wait, is he the guy that keeps getting those issues because he hasn't filled his body with nanites?
Yes, that's him actually. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that one. That had the very boss fights.
Yes.
They were very.
They were very merrow, is what you're thinking of there.
They were something that sticks in your mind whether you want to or not.
Indeed, in fucking deed. But yes, that's exactly who it is. I love as well. Like, again, I know it's a Japanese thing, and maybe it's like the translation isn't working. But there is, like, for the sign for the men's title, it just says "man" as opposed to "men's." It's I just got to chuckle at that myself. It's like, man.
I mean, okay. I mean, that's not the weirdest thing. Like, people can use shitty signs.
Yeah.
Although,
do you like the Trail of Blood?
Right, that's it. Another word for that idea of comedy is completely fucking tone deaf.
Yes, tone deaf. Very good.
Like,
here, over here.
This man's expression has not changed.
This is normal to him
at all. I mean, that's a horrifying possibility for this to be normal for him.
But like I said, as we're finding out, like, he is here for a reason, so maybe this is normal to him. Maybe this is just like what happens to this fucking guy on his investigations.
I mean, maybe.
So what's happening here?
I mean, weird shit. A lot of weird shit. Honestly, I'm not really sure what the moaning is, though. Is it the building? Is it the... Oh god, is it the building?
It probably is the building, yeah. Like I said, he's just evil. The evil is around us, Paul. That's the whole idea.
Like,
and apparently there's something in the MRI.
Why?
Sure, why not? Why not, man? Oh, it's another card. Handy.
I'm sorry. MRIs. Wouldn't they wouldn't they just destroy the card? Yeah. So, as I understand it, MRIs, are they magnetized or something?
Yes. Yeah, magnetized. Yeah.
So, and the part of cards that are read electronically, that reacts with magnets.
Reacts? Yes. In fact, I would say it fucking hates them.
Yeah, like it has a very, very specific purpose, and that's how it reacts with, scanners and functions as a key card. For that to be strongly magneted, I would think would render it
completely useless.
I mean, I was going to say unreliable, but that's not wrong either.
I'm happy to go on a limb there. I'm happy to go on a limb with that. He does have quite a lot of style when he's doing his key card. Man knows how to strike a pose. I'll give him that. Strike a pose.
I mean, to an extent, certainly. It's.
He's got his stance well, anyway.
Okay, so he got to the exit.
Oh. Or do we?
There's something about the sound of those things squirming out of the ground. Seems to have like a nervous twitch.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Or maybe that's his his tell for thinking, I am paying attention and doing mind things.
Yeah, it's like a case of I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine.
Also, something apart from him was throwing shit around and possibly shooting.
Yes, it sounded like a shotgun. Oh, look, it's a policeman with a shotgun. In fact, it's several people with a shotgun. This is unfortunate.
It's almost like they've police have taken exception to a detective running around the hospital with a gun.
Yeah, they did.
And you know what? A shotgun did... I'm not going to say too little damage, but... That was more than a tickle.
It was significant.
Fair enough then. What matters is that a shotgun didn't do negligible damage.
Yes, exactly. It did enough.
Which I think was the whole kind of point of a shotgun. Was to like, if you hit something with it, that thing is down.
Yes, in theory, yes. You're forgetting, Paul, that we are the protagonists, therefore have more health than anyone else.
You see, I was going to say with, discreet body armor because detective.
Nah. Unless he has like some sort of supernatural fucking armor that protects him from like evil shotguns.
He does have a fairly thick head, so good thermal plating.
That's possible. That's possible. I like that.
It's not. What it is, it's not impossible.
No. And he's coming out of it. This part of the video is sponsored by Thomas's Biscuit.
I mean, that's not a biscuit. That's some sort of cake.
Shut up. It's a biscuit. See?
Agent Morgan,
he's back to normal.
Desperate, then why not smoke two at once?